Okay, Room 21 Rockstars, now that you are becoming chemists as we know, okay, before my eyes, right now in class, wherever I am, we are going to talk about molecules and compounds. So we've gone from atoms, which are the smallest unit of matter, and then we went up to elements, which, remember, we drew that stairway. So we had atoms, smallest unit of matter, basic building block. Have elements. Whenever we combine like atoms and put them together, we have elements. And then whenever we take elements and combine them, we go up the next step and we have compounds. Okay, so compounds are when you take one or more elements and you combine them. Okay, and we made compounds out of those gumdrops. You guys will probably remember that. They were kind of, or no, out of the marshmallows. They were kind of sticky. And I tried to get you to make C6H12O6, which was incredibly difficult. But we did make some common ones such as like H2O, things like that. Now, I'm not going to be asking you to draw compounds on your assessment. I told you guys that was way beyond 5th grade. I just want you to know that that's something you're going to be previewing when you get a little older. Okay, so molecules versus compounds. Well, they're not really too far apart because the problem is molecules are the smallest part of a compound. So when I take a compound such as water, okay, here I have water. You see it? It's dripping. That's a compound because H2O, 2 parts hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. Put those together, those 2 elements together, I get a compound. The smallest part of a compound, which is this water, is called a molecule. Okay, so molecules, compounds. Just make sure you have that down. Now, a couple common ones that you really should know, and you know we talked about these. H2O, number 1, is water. NaCl is table salt. And we talked about in class how you can identify that you have a compound on your hands, because if you think about the periodic table, every element begins with a capital letter. Let me zoom that in so you can see. Do you see each box how every element begins with a capital letter? So if I have a compound here such as H2O, I see H, 2 parts of hydrogen, 1 part oxygen. Those are 2 capital letters. Those are 2 elements combined together. We have a compound. Okay, so H2O is water. NaCl, which is sodium chloride or sodium and chlorine combined, that is table salt, you know, that you put on your mashed potatoes. C6H12O6 is sugar. Okay, we talked about that with photosynthesis. I showed you the equation for that. Okay, so it has 6 parts carbon, 12 parts hydrogen, 6 parts oxygen. When you take all those together, notice the capital letters once again, you know that more than one element has been combined to create a compound. And then we have CO2, which is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide bubbles were inside of the Coca-Cola. Okay, they were inside of the ginger ale whenever we made the Raisins Dance. They're the reason that the Coke exploded out the bottle when the Mentos were dropped inside as well. So these are all common examples of compounds. You probably should know these, especially going into middle school, guys. These are some of the common ones. And I know your favorite one was also CH4. I forgot to put that here. There's carbon and 4 parts hydrogen. We said that was methane gas. You guys probably remember that conversation. We will leave it at that. Now, I think there was an area in your book that I wanted to direct you to kind of help you to study compounds. Or maybe I was just kidding. Never mind. I just want you to put something on that poster about compounds and then molecules, which are the smallest part of a compound. You know, a good way to go about it, okay, I don't want to, you know, make your decision for you, but would be to draw that stairway, okay? Atoms are the smallest unit of matter. Take one or more of the same atom, combine them, you have an element, okay? When you take more than one element and combine them, we have a compound, okay? It's going up the stairway, okay? You should be able to identify the size of these different things that we've been talking about. That concludes the compound and molecule review.